Hi, Daniel Gardula here, Qlik Practice Lead for Acumen. Welcome to the July 2019 release of the Acumen Control Chart. This is probably our biggest release to date, and I'll just talk you through the new chart types we've got, some of the new features, and a new example application. So in this release, we have 8 new control chart types, as you can see there. So the I chart, which is the existing chart that we've made available to date, but now we're adding a P chart, a P funnel chart, an NP chart, a U chart, a U funnel chart, a C chart, a run chart with a mean for the center line, and a run chart with the median for the center line. And I'll take you through some of these shortly as well. Along with all the additional new chart types, we've also added some new features for each of these charts. So this includes allowing you to set the default labels for the average, the upper and lower control limits, and the rules, the ability to show all of the points on the x-axis, or just choose to select 10, 15, 20, or as many as you want. Set the number of points to show on the y-axis, and also giving you more control over the formatting and the style of the x-axis, including the ability to change the font size and also pick how many ticks that you want to show. So hopefully these features will help improve, I guess, the look and feel of your charts. And lastly, we've also got an example Qlik application that we're going to make available to people. So this really just provides an example for each of the new control chart types, as well as some suggestions on how you might want to use that within a healthcare setting. So as always, this can be downloaded from the VizLib marketplace, and we welcome your feedback and suggestions at extensions@acumenbi.co.nz. What I'll do now is just talk you through that control chart application, and so you can have a look at the latest release. So here is the example control chart application that we're going to be making available. It starts with a chart selection guide, and then we have examples of all of the different chart types that we've got available. And then we have a few other sheets. One is just explaining the all points method and the baseline points method. One is around just demonstrating what we mean by adding multiple breaks. So I guess recalculating the center line and the upper and lower control limits midway through a chart. We have some tips and tricks around users setting manual breaks and giving the users some flexibility around that. And we also have a sheet around some, I guess, examples of other useful chart types that are actually, out of the box with Qlik. But before we get into those, I'll just show you an example of actually creating a new chart. Similar to the previous version, you can find it under Extensions and look for Acumen Control Chart. Drag and drop that onto the screen. We can then add a dimension. Might actually just change the dimension to C month. So it automatically defaults to the I chart. So in this case, I'm wanting to create a C chart. So as you'll see now on the properties panel on the right, we can pick the control chart type from a drop-down list. We pick C chart. That will automatically change to being displayed as a C chart. And we're trying to give a little bit of information for each chart type around, how it could be used. Similar to the previous versions, you can set the dimensions and you can set the measures. For some of the chart types, you need to add 2 measures, so a numerator and a denominator. And again, you can do that by clicking Add Measure here. Measure variables hasn't changed from the previous events, but just note that we have set the default rule for the recalculation event to be no recalculation. Again, other measures formatting, that hasn't changed since the previous version. But what has changed is some features within the appearance. So in here, if we click on the x-axis, we can now choose to show the scroll bar or not. So if we choose not to, that will show all of the points. We can amend the font size for the axes and also the label font size. And if we wanted to show every second tick or something like that, we can do that here as well. So we've also set up similar type of formatting options for the y-axis and also the legend. That's some of the key features and new functionality that we have built into this. I'll just give you a quick overview of the rest of this example application so you have a bit of an idea of what's in here. So for each of the chart types, we just have some example information in the application. We've got basically the layout and the look and feel of each page is similar. We have a note on when it might be appropriate to use the control chart type. The top right, we have some example applications in a healthcare setting that we recommend. If you expand that, you should actually be able to see the image in a little bit more detail. And then we have an example of the chart. So I won't go through all of the charts, but I do just want to show you a couple of the new ones. So you can see here a P control chart. So that has a different type of formatting and look and feel. And so with the P charts, you can see that the upper and lower control limit is different for each point. So there is actually different underlying calculations for this. And the other thing that we've built in is the P funnel chart. So the actual values are the same between the two charts, but the sorting is different. I won't go through, as I said, all of these different chart types, but I will just jump to this tips and tricks around allowing users to set manual breaks. So there's two ways that you can allow users to set manual breaks. You can actually set up a variable so that they have full control over putting in a precise value. And you'll see when I put that in there, that has then set a recalculation event based on that date, so they could change that. You could also do that potentially on a slider. And the one on the right is where we've actually predefined it for different departments, and the user could simply select the department that they want to look at, and you'll see that the position of the manual break, the recalculation event, is changing. So we'll leave it there. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoy the July 2019 release, and we look forward to hearing your feedback and suggestions.